Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our deep dive today. It's all about a question we know a lot of small business owners kind of struggle with. It's can you use AI and all this stuff and still keep that personal touch that's so important when you're a small business. We've got a ton of articles and research here, and I think you're going to be really excited to hear some of these strategies.
I think you're going to be really relieved to hear this because I think a lot of people have this fear that AI is going to make their business feel robotic. But what we're actually finding in all this research is that AI can really help amplify your authenticity if you use it the right way.
Exactly. One of the things that really stood out to me in one of these sources, it's from an entrepreneur named Simon Squibb. He basically says that a successful business doesn't really start with an idea. It starts with a feeling. He calls it a need for change. And, you know,
Yeah.
when you think about it, what is it that makes you want to start a business? What makes you want to do all this stuff? I think it really is that kind of passion, right?
It really is.
Yeah.
And he uses his own company as a case study for this. It's called Fluid. They're a marketing agency. And he was up against hundreds of competitors when he started. But what made him different was his love for marketing. And that's what resonated with clients because they could feel that enthusiasm. And that's not something that AI can ever replicate.
Right. I mean,
Again.
so many people are thinking about AI as like, yeah, it's going to take over. It's going to replace my job. But what we're seeing in a lot of these articles is it's actually about empowering you to do more of what you're already great at.
Absolutely.
And we found examples of that, like with website builders. You've got 10 webs.
Yeah.
Durable.
Yeah.
That can just build an entire website so quickly. Imagine what you could do with all that time you'd save.
I mean, that's time that you could spend on things that really make you and your business special, building relationships or brainstorming new products, things that AI can't do. But it can take care of those things that take up so much of your time.
And even things like social media. Like there are AI tools out there that can help you create those short videos. You know, the ones everyone's doing on TikTok and Instagram.
Yeah, Opus Clip is a great example of that. You can take your long videos and have it automatically create those short little snippets to really grab people's attention.
So it's like having a video editor working for you 24/7. I mean, for a small business owner.
Yeah.
You're wearing so many hats. That's got to be a huge help. One of the areas that surprised me, though, was customer service.
Ah,
And using AI in that.
I can see why that would be a little bit scary, but
Yeah.
there's this tool called Tidio that uses AI to help with customer service. So it can answer frequently asked questions, basic requests. It can even help your team write better responses.
So it's not replacing the human touch. It's more like making it even better.
Yeah, it's all about creating a smoother experience for your customers without losing that personal touch.
I like that. It's almost like it's taking care of the busy work so you can focus on
Yeah.
the real connections with your customers.
And that seems to be the theme of a lot of these sources.
Yeah.
AI is most powerful when you're using it to amplify what makes you authentic. It shouldn't be replacing you.
Right. But I'm sure there are some of you out there thinking, well, okay, how do I do that? How do I actually make sure my business stays true to itself if I'm using AI?
Yeah, I mean, that's the big question, isn't it? And there are some really good insights in these sources. Like, one of the most important things is that you need to build your brand on your personal values.
Like that feeling that Simon was talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Your brand should be an extension of you, your beliefs, your passions, what you stand for.
So it's not just about,
Yeah.
what you sell. It's really about the values you embody as a business.
It's what makes you unique. And AI can actually help you with that because it frees up your time and energy. So you can really focus on articulating those values
Yeah.
and making sure they're present in everything you do.
That's really cool. I like that a lot.
But it's not just about what you say, it's about how you say it. And one of the sources we looked at talked about this. It was a report from the AI Now Institute. And they were talking about AI-generated content, like website copy, social media posts, even entire articles written by AI.
Oh, well, I mean, that sounds amazing.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I do worry a little bit about everyone sounding the same. If everyone's using AI to write their stuff.
That's a good point. And the report talks about that too. Like,
Yeah.
you don't want to let AI be the author of your brand. It should be more like an assistant. Like, think of it as a really talented intern who can draft some good stuff. But it's still up to you to make sure it sounds like you, to refine it and make sure it really aligns with your brand.
You're still the one in control.
Exactly. Another important thing they talk about is transparency. Customers really value honesty, especially with AI becoming so common. They want to know if they're talking to a bot or a real person.
It makes sense. Nobody wants to feel like they're being tricked.
Exactly. And that goes beyond just customer service. You should be open about how you're using AI in your business. If you're using AI to write product descriptions or something, don't hide it. People appreciate it when you're upfront about things.
It's about building trust.
And that trust is essential for any relationship, whether it's with a friend or a customer.
I like that. Speaking of trust and, making those connections, we found some amazing stuff in here about user-generated content.
Oh yeah, UGC. That is the goldmine of authentic content. Reviews, photos, videos, social media posts created by your actual customers.
People trust other people way more than they trust brands.
It's so powerful. It feels so much more genuine than just another ad. Like, we found all kinds of examples in here of brands that are doing this really well. They're encouraging their customers to share their experiences, and it's creating these amazing communities.
I love that. You're basically turning your customers into brand ambassadors.
And who better to represent your brand than the people who actually use and love your products?
That's so cool. And it makes it feel less salesy, which is a good thing.
Yeah, it's all about building a brand that stands out. And one thing that came up a lot was choosing the right brand name. You don't want to limit yourself with a name that's too specific.
Yeah, you've got to think about the future.
Think about brands like Shein or Zara. Their names aren't tied to any particular product, so they have the flexibility to grow and change over time.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Because as your business evolves, you don't want your name to hold you back.
Exactly. And once you have that name, it's all about figuring out your brand message.
Yeah.
What problem are you solving for people? What value are you bringing to their lives?
And how do you communicate that in a way that feels genuine?
Right. One of the sources talked about this. They said you should focus on the results your product delivers, not just the features.
So instead of saying, my dog collar is made from high-quality leather.
You'd say, this dog collar will give you peace of mind, knowing your furry friend is safe and comfortable on all your adventures.
Oh, yeah. That's way better. It's like painting a picture for people.
And that's where real authenticity comes in. Understanding your customers and connecting with them on a deeper level.
It's not just about making a sale. It's about building a relationship.
And remember, building a brand takes time. It's not going to happen overnight.
It's a marathon.
You've got to be consistent, deliver on your promises, and stay true to your values.
It's like you're building something special.
It really is.
And, you have to be willing to change and adapt too.
Right.
Like what worked last year might not work this year.
Definitely. Your brand has to be like a living thing. It needs to evolve.
It's got to grow.
You have to pay attention to what's happening in your industry and listen to your customers.
Right.
And don't be afraid to make changes.
And the technology is always changing too. There are new AI tools coming out all the time.
Oh, yeah. You have to be willing to experiment, see what works for you.
There were a couple of tools that I was really interested in that we saw in here. One was called DocuAsk, and the other one was Microsoft Copilot.
Oh, yeah. Those are cool. DocuAsk is amazing. If you have to deal with a lot of documents, like contracts or reports, it can analyze them and answer your questions.
So no more spending hours reading through legal jargon.
Exactly.
It's a lifesaver.
And Microsoft Copilot. It's like having a super smart assistant. It can help you write emails, create presentations, brainstorm ideas.
Wow. It's incredible how much AI can do these days.
Mm.
But I think the most important thing we've learned today is that AI doesn't have to be scary.
It's a cool
It can actually help you be more authentic.
if you use it the right way.
It's about amplifying what makes you unique, not trying to replace it.
And I think that's a really important message for small businesses. You don't have to lose your personality just
Sure.
because you're using AI.
So as you're listening to all this and thinking about how you can use AI in your business, I want you to think about this question. How can you use AI to amplify those human elements that make your business so special?
How can you make those connections with your customers even stronger? How can you build a brand that truly reflects who you are?
We've given you a lot of information today, hopefully some inspiration too. Now it's up to you to take action.
Go out there and build something amazing.
And remember, stay true to yourself.
That's the most important thing.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
It's been fun.
We'll see you next time.